The next move by the Indian Air Force is set to embarrass and humiliate Pakistan on the global stage. I'd request all our Pakistani viewers to not watch any further, else they would be left disillusioned by the lies of Bunker Munir and the Pakistani leadership. You wouldn't believe it, but the Indian Air Force is set to fly its Rafale fighter jets in the upcoming war games COPE India 2025 against the US Air Force. Now, the Indian Rafale contingent would include 3 specific fighter jets with tail numbers BS-021, BS-022 and BS-027. And guess what? These are exactly the 3 Rafale fighter jets that Pakistanis have been claiming for months to have shot down in the recent war, when the Indian Air Force destroyed 11 Pakistani air bases and 9 terror camps across Pakistan.
और आनन फानन 5 जहाज जिनमें 3 राफेल.
Now all those Rafale lies by Pakistani Prime Minister and his leadership today stand completely exposed.
मुझे इनके ऊपर फख्र है, ये कौम के फख्र है, कौम के फख्र.
We'll tell you all about the COPE 2025 war games between the Indian Air Force and the US Air Force and its significance, so stay with us. The participation of these 3 specific Rafale in the upcoming exercises shows the Indian Air Force retains its advanced jets, which will be put through air superiority missions using allied systems and complex scenarios. This is also a warning to Pakistan that the Indian Air Force remains battle ready. Now, this is the latest in a series of embarrassments for Pakistan. Earlier, Rafale pilot Shivangi Singh was elevated to the rank of flying instructor. The image of Shivangi Singh busted fake and downright disgusting claims by ridiculous Pakistani media reports on this Indian pilot. Prime Minister Modi himself was pictured when the S-400, which again Pakistan falsely claimed to have destroyed. So while the Indian Air Force and Indian Army hit all their targets well inside Pakistan, all Islamabad did was make fake claims on social media and post video game footage.
Beggars can't be choosers.
In fact, Pakistani public has been so influenced by its own military lies and propaganda that one Pakistani troll even commented on one of our videos posted just yesterday and claimed that Rafale jets with tail numbers BS-021, BS-022 and BS-027 have been shot down, while we were explaining that there is not even one verifiable image of any IF losses. My message to all such Pakistani trolls is: do not believe fake propaganda of Teen 93,000 and always demand proof. If the failed Marshal and Pakistani military claim they shot down these specific Rafale jets, then how can the Indian Air Force fly the same jets in full operational status in major war games against the US Air Force in what will be a full-scale military exercise and aerial duels? Next, Pakistanis will claim these must be ghosts or duplicate Rafale. I mean, there is simply no end to the bizarre claims made by Pakistani media. This is nothing short of a slap on the face of Pakistani military by the Indian Air Force once again. The question is, what will Pakistan do now?
हर चीज का सलूशन जो है वो क्या कशकौल लेके लोगों के सामने खड़े हो जाना है?
The Indian Air Force proved its superiority in the recent war. The world saw satellite images and videos of 11 destroyed Pakistani air bases. According to the latest global rankings, the Indian Air Force now ranks above China as the 3rd most powerful air force in the world, while Pakistan is not even in the top 10. Even the United Kingdom has sought IAF instructors to train British Royal Air Force pilots on how Indian jets beat Pakistanis, Chinese origin air defenses and PL-15 missiles. So when Trump claims 7 jets were shot down in the recent India-Pakistan war, he must be talking about Pakistani Air Force, which was hammered in the air and on the ground. To Trump, Munir or anybody else making tall claims, the Indian Air Force with this subtle move has boldly declared, either show proof or just move on.
They already shot down 7 jets. That was raging.
And at least 4
4 to 5 fighter aircraft, most likely F-16, because that base happened to be F-16.
Now, do you think IAF's decision to field these 3 Rafale jets against the US Air Force is also a counter to Trump's claims? We would see these 3 Rafale jets in the COPE India 2025 military exercise to be held in November 2025. This particular selection of fighter jets attests to their full operational status and effectiveness in contested environment. According to open source intelligence and verified records of IAF fleet, all these 3 Rafale remain active under number 101 Squadron Falcons based at Hasimara Air Base. In June 2025, PAF's number 15 Cobras Squadron allegedly claimed credit for downing these 3 Indian Rafale and other IAF assets in what was dubbed the largest air battle in modern history. However, no wreckage, no eyewitnesses, no videos, no radar logs, and no pilots were ever produced to substantiate these tall claims made by Pakistan, even in the era of smartphones. Multiple Pakistani pilots even reportedly competed for kill credits, exposing serious internal confusion within PAF ranks. Now, Reuters had reported back in May that a J-10 shot down at least 1 Rafale. However, again, the report based on sources and anonymous quotes gave no credible and verifiable proof. Another Reuters report on May 9th from inside Pakistan quoted US officials claiming 2 Indian jets had been hit, but again, there was no verifiable proof to back these claims apart from anonymous sources. Tomorrow, Pakistan might say it has landed a man on the sun or that the earth is flat. Are we supposed to really believe such ridiculous claims? However, such reports were then blown up on social media by Pakistani, Chinese, and Turkish handles. According to Pakistani officials, a PL-15 missile that hit the Rafale was fired from around 200 kilometers away. In fact, Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif said in June that Pakistan Air Force had shot down 6 Indian fighter jets, including 4 Rafale.
5 जहाज जिनमें 3 राफेल हैं उनको मार गिराया और उनको
However, earlier, Pakistan's own Defense Minister Khwaja Asif had made a hilarious admission during a TV interview that Pakistani intel was based on social media claims by random users.
On the social media, on Indian social media, not on our social media.
Back on May 7th, when the dogfighting reached its peak, Pakistan's Information Minister Tarar told British broadcaster Sky News, "We shot down 2 Indian planes and we are responding to Indian aggression right now as we speak," so the numbers kept on increasing. In a state of frenzy as Indian missiles rained down on 9 terror headquarters, Pakistan's state broadcaster PTV misreported Pakistan Air Force shot down another Indian Rafale aircraft 17 nautical miles southwest of Avantipura. In fact, the Pakistan government's official handle on platform X made a blunder by using video game footage to claim it shot down an Indian fighter jets and were rightfully trolled online. Even Reuters fact-checked the video game footage as fake claims of Indian jets being shot.
वो मनोहर कहानियां हैं.
Now, one particular image being widely shared by Pakistani propaganda handles showed a mangled wreckage of a fighter jet's external fuel tank, which were dropped. Another image was identified by PIB Fact Check as an old photo from 2021 of an MiG-21 crash in Punjab's Moga district. A French website, Elion de Chassis, did explain, however, that one Indian Rafale jet experienced a technical failure during a training mission and not during wartime operations. It claimed, quote, "Jet experienced a technical failure at an altitude of over 12,000 meters during an extended training mission with no enemy involvement or hostile radar contact," unquote. In fact, India's Rafale jets outwitted Chinese-made J-10 fighter aircraft and the famed PL-15 air-to-air missiles, both of which rely heavily on radar guidance. In fact, fully intact PL-15 wreckage, which failed to hit Indian jets, were found and have been studied to decode Chinese missile technology. Reports claim the Indian Air Force Rafale used X-Guard to fool Pakistani military. Acting like an invisible wingman, this part of the jet's electronic warfare system is capable of fooling even the most sophisticated radar systems that guide such missiles. The X-Guard creates a powerful invisible signal to jam, block, or simply confuse the enemy's radar so they can't even see or track the real jet. It duplicates the exact radar signature of a real Rafale jet, so when the missiles do hit the X-Guard decoy, the real jets are safe and sound. A former F-16 fighter pilot called it the best deception tactics ever seen in modern warfare as the Indian Air Force spoofed Pakistani radars. Featuring India's most advanced fighters in COPE India 2025 drills with the US showcases the military and defense cooperation between the two nations, which remains strong despite geopolitical tensions due to Trump's tariff drama. With Japan and Australia also slated to participate in these exercises, the drills will focus on enhancing interoperability, sharing tactics, and building mutual understanding of air combat capabilities. Maybe the Quad allies want to know just how the Indian Air Force beat Chinese military technology during the short war with Pakistan. But what do you believe? Will Pakistanis finally accept their Rafale lies or come up with even more bizarre claims? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button, and subscribe to Inconnect News.